realized something in the 15 plus hours I spent playing my first PS5 game. I really fucking suck at it. Now don't get me wrong, I suck at most games, but this one in particular really had me beat. Due to my impatience, along with some other things, I wasn't able to think smart about the routes to take, the weapons to grab, or the items to use. Most of the time, I would just melee shit and die. A lot. However, despite the fact that I died a shit ton, I enjoyed the game so much. The dark, rainy atmosphere of the first biome reminded me of a darker Havarl from Mass Effect Andromeda. The combat was incredibly smooth and receptive, especially once I unlocked the Atropian Blade. Timing dashes to dodge enemy attacks proved to be quite satisfying as well. Every time I died and was brought back to the beginning, I always just wanted to run right through the levels again to experience the lush habitat, glowing enemies, and smooth combat system. I haven't played many grid-based roguelike games, but this particular one randomized the maps after each death so that no two playthroughs were exactly the same. Another thing I liked about the game was the sound effects. The sounds of the weapons being reloaded and the slicing noise of the melee sword strikes were very satisfying to hear. This game was my first experience with the DualSense controller. In the beginning of each playthrough, we were greeted with rain in the level. Players could feel the light raindrops as they traversed through the first biome. The controller also plays special sound effects when retrieving items or equipping new weapons. It was a neat experience since I like hearing weapon sound effects in games. This was definitely my ideal atmosphere for a game. It's a shame that I wasn't able to get very far. The feeling of isolation in an unknown environment with absolutely no contact with the outside world causes players to look at the game somewhat philosophically, from a different angle, as we see small clues as to who Celine is and what she is personally experiencing due to how cryptic the game is with her story and the environment around her. The soundtrack meshes so well with the atmosphere of the game as it gives off the feelings of discovery, longing for the unknown, and exploration of an environment that is ancient and sinister in nature. I had one promising playthrough where I had my adrenaline maxed out, decent shields, and a decent firearm. Unfortunately, as I was descending the giant hole to fight Thrall, I completely forgot that I had one parasite attached that increased the damage done to me from high falls. I failed to time my landing well, and instantly lost my maxed adrenaline boost. I've seen one person speedrun the entire game in about 30 minutes with a pistol and hardly any adrenaline, but I am nowhere near that good and racked up a nice number of deaths. I took a break from the game to draw some fan art since I am a sucker for drawing people in sci-fi-esque space armor. Ever since I was a kid, the first game I played for a new system always held a special meaning for me. Some of those games for me included Pokemon Colosseum for the GameCube and Assassin's Creed 2 for the PS3. The memories I've got playing Returnal will be no different. It's hard for me to notice the difference graphics-wise compared to PS4 games because I've been playing a lot of different era games lately. But the low light and the glowing wildlife make for a visually aesthetic look. I gave the game the good Game Center CX special and played it for 24 hours before I called it quits, which is embarrassing for me to say, but that's okay. It was fun for how much of it I played, and it makes me look forward to playing more PS5 games in the future.